Hey guys, LechK here. Doing laundry, realized our dryer is not heating anymore. It was working fine and suddenly just stopped. One thing you want to check before you start taking anything apart, which I'm going to show you in this video, is check your dryer vent. Make sure that thing is cleaned and yearly and that you don't have any lint in there clogging it up. That will cause it to overheat, and most likely what happened in our case, and in most cases, the thermal fuse inside the dryer that's located on the back of the drum popped, which now will turn off the heat. Working here with a gas dryer. This is a GE, probably 10 years old, but it's working fine till now. Went on Amazon, picked up a kit of fuses and other parts. This was about 10-12 bucks. There's different brands, but these are basically the common part numbers you'll be using. And this is the thermal fuse. When your dryer overheats, like when the lint is clogged up or stuff like that might cause that, this will pop, and then there will be no continuity inside it going from one terminal to another, which will trigger to turn off the heat in your dryer. So we have to get inside to the back of the dryer, which I'm gonna move it all apart. Get back there right now. We'll take the back off, see if we can find this piece. We're gonna test it with a multimeter. I'll show you guys in a minute how, and then if needed, we'll replace it. If not, we'll go to the next steps. So my goal hopefully will be to do this without disconnecting the gas line. If needed, we'll do so. But you still want to turn off the gas going to the dryer just in case. Which is this valve right here. You just got to turn it to the side. Now we can get back there. So this is the vent I was talking about. This goes outside of your house. So go outside, check in here, check inside your dryer. Make sure you don't have any clumped up lint there. And clean that out once a year as well. I'll put a link below to what you need to do that. But let's get to the back now. And obviously disconnect your dryer from the power. So like I mentioned, check inside there. You're gonna have to kind of feel it, but definitely run something through it to clean it. And then check inside your dryer as well, all the way in there. And if you don't have air blowing out, then you're definitely being clogged up. So that's step one. So looking at this dryer, it looks like it's not going to be that easy to pop open the back because the sidewalls are over this. So we're going to have to pop all this off and so on. I am going to disconnect the gas line just to make my life easier. So we're unscrewing this top piece. We're going to put a wrench on this one to hold this in place as we unscrew this. When changing your dryer oven hose, always good to replace these, but if you are gonna keep it, inspect it, make sure this is not damaged. This is a compression fitting. I'm not sure why they put grease on here, but it's not needed when using compression fittings. I might have to replace this one as well. Somebody really over tightened it. Anyway, now let's rotate the dryer and take it apart. So in my case, it's Phillips head screws. I'm just gonna pop them all off, and hopefully this will come loose. So actually in this dryer's case, I didn't even need to remove all these bolts. I just need to get this piece out, which is being held by 4 bolts here that I just removed. So once you pop them out, this just comes out. We have access to our drum. And my fuses are right here. So let's test it. So this kit does come actually with two thermal fuses. This one and this one. This looks like the one that's going to be in my dryer. So I'm going to test it first, and then if needed, we'll replace it. Okay, so we got to get back in here. I believe this is the link right here. You can kind of see it has a sensor piece right there. So we're gonna disconnect the wires from it. Make sure your dryer is also disconnected from the wall. And now we're gonna take a multimeter. That's if you're testing. If you're just replacing it, you're skipping the test. But you can send it to the audible setting, or you can send it to the lowest ohm setting. These are the two you connect in here. And now basically, if you have an audible, if you touch these two, you'll have a noise. So if there's a current going through that fuse, you should have a noise. If you're doing the ohm setting, you should be at 0 when you touch the fuse. If you're not, then that means it's broken. But we'll do the audible since it's easier. And now we'll just connect the 2 prongs. And I have nothing, no noise. And to show you guys how this should work with a good fuse, there you go. That's what I mean. Same with the ohm setting. Zeros. But this is not the fuse. So I gotta get the right fuse for the dryer, and then we'll go from there. It does have a little number here if you guys can see. But I'll put a link to it below as well and type it out for you. So I'm gonna get this ordered hopefully on Amazon overnight and get it done. Alrighty, got the new part. Did find it on Amazon by searching the part number on here for this GE dryer. And this is the aftermarket version, which was $20. You can get the GE version for $30 plus another like 13 shipping, but that will take a few days to get. I need this right away. Got this overnight on Amazon Prime. And this is actually a control thermistor, so it's not a thermal fuse like these guys and the other dryers. That's what the GE dryer's model is called. But the idea is the same. So we're gonna pop that back in, and hopefully that was it. I'm not really testing any other components right now. My guess is this is the piece. So I'll pop it back in, reassemble, and hopefully we're good to go. We got it screwed back in. We're just gonna connect our wires back up. And hopefully that's it. That's basically how you replace it. So one quick tip I want to also share with this GE dryer, as it seems to become an issue with the control panel, the power button. Basically, get them loose and you got to push it on an angle to get it working. And basically, the issue is right here. It's that little button. I'll give you guys some light. It's got to be pushed there, right? This plastic power switch. Basically, these tabs break, it's just glued right there, and then that's the piece that pushes it. So I just remove my top panel, which is basically 2 bolts right up here under this little trim. And once you remove that, you have access right here, and you can pull the power button out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna get rid of it. It's pointless to glue it back on, it's just gonna break again. And I have easy access to the button. You can use something or even use your finger. Alrighty, so now we can put it all back together. We gotta put this lid back on in here. Make sure you unclick your wire harnesses anywhere, clicking back into place so it's not in the way of the drum. Kind of make sure the drum is rotating too, that nothing's obstructing it. And now we just pop this back in.
tabs snap under these.
So now we just screwed it back. Same way we unscrewed it, then we can reconnect the gas and test it. Alrighty, so now it's time to reconnect the gas line. But before we do that, I'm doing some checks, and I'm also replacing this piece here that I just unscrewed. And the reason is, this is worn out here. This is not smooth anymore. And this is the piece that you don't use any of the grease or Teflon tape and stuff like that, because the way the fitting connects, it's like a compression fitting. This gets pushed against it, pressed down, and that has to be nice flush seal. So I had it with one from doing my oven before, nice and smooth. As you guys can see, this will be a nice clean connection. Then once you screw this down, which you don't have to coat it either because this is the seal, it will press against it nicely. So I'm using Pro Dope to for the thread. That's probably the best stuff right now. And I'm just gonna give it a generous coat. Make sure there's nothing inside. Just pop this on. When you tighten everything, make sure that you don't loosen this piece or this piece, anything here. But we are gonna test everything before actually turning the gas on. I mean, once we turn the gas on, we are gonna test it for leaks, just like with the oven install and so on. Install this piece. Move it around, make sure you have it nice and on, nice loose on it, and then this will just tighten it down against it and create the seal. That should do it. I'm gonna turn on the gas, test it for leaks. So there's a specific product for testing leaks. This is it, and I'll put links to everything in my description. Basically, just a foamy water substance. You can use a spray, like Fantastic Cleaning Spray or something, or soapy water, and that will do it too. So let's turn the gas back on. And now we just coat everything and look for any bubbles. And connect and test everything, even where you didn't connect freshly, because you want to make sure you don't loosen anything up, including under here. And I'm not seeing any bubbles. So we should be good. So now we can reconnect our air vent and all that, and let's see if we got heat. And that's really it, guys. Dryer's back to life. We got heat. Luckily that was the issue, but it could be other heating elements as well. So if it ever fails, I'll do a follow-up video. Thanks for watching, guys.